Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our regular Thursday lecture. I hope that your day is going great. We are thrilled to have you here with us to learn more about admission policies in the United States. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me just briefly introduce myself. As some of you may already know, my name is Victoria, and I'm the outreach coordinator for the Education USA network here in Ukraine. We, of course, are part of the global network of the US Department of State committed to promoting diversity in the US higher education system by building bridges of knowledge across borders. Here at Education USA, we offer accurate, comprehensive, and objective information about educational opportunities in the United States and guidance to qualified individuals and students on how to best access these opportunities. We, of course, understand that the process of applying to US universities is quite different from that in Ukraine. So we are here to help you and support you every step of the process and answer any questions you may have from beginning to end. Without further ado, let us get started. And today we're going to explore admission policies in the United States. With more universities shifting to a more holistic admissions approach, it's important to make sure that your application reflects who you are beyond your academic achievements. So, how do you talk about your accomplishments effectively? What information and activities do you highlight? And what kind of details should you include to really be heard? Well, today we're going to discuss all of these things and more, so stay tuned. It is my pleasure to welcome our guest speakers, Adrana Kavalykante, International Admissions Counselor at the University of Maine, and Jenny Deng, International Recruiter at the University of California Riverside, who will share insights into how to make your application stand out among the pile of applications that US universities receive every year. Before we get started, I would just like to encourage you to stay proactive and ask questions. We would love to hear from you, so do not hesitate to put any questions you may have in the comments. So let us get started. Adrana, I'll turn it over to you. Please take it away. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I would like to introduce myself first. My name is on the screen. I am the International Admissions Counselor here at the University of Maine, United States. I am the one looking at the applications when they come in, and I am the one making the final decision of admissions. So I am here. I'm glad to be here today and support you with some basic information on how the admission process works, and hopefully help you understand how this work will increase your chances of getting acceptance. So if I can have my presentation on, perfect, thank you. So the University of Maine, as you see on this picture, is a very English, old, like a British style campus. This region at the University of Maine, where the University of Maine is located, it's very different from the rest of the United States. We have a very British influence, and we are very close to Canada. So we are located in this area that we call New England area. The University of Maine is a beautiful campus. We have more than 200 majors to offer. And I'm gonna go ahead to the next slide and show you exactly where we are located. So as you see, we are on the border of Canada. We are way up there. Orono is where our main campus is located. We are 4-hour drive from Boston, Massachusetts. And Boston is a big city. It's the biggest city near us. Orono is a relatively rural area. It's a very peaceful and it's a very college town. And we also have the campus in Machias, which is even closer to the border to Canada. And it's also one of our campuses that you can apply for. So moving on, the state of Maine, and actually where the university is located, is one of the safest regions in the United States. And we're very proud of that, of course. And besides that, we are actually very diverse. As you can see, we have an international community of more than 80 countries being represented in our cohort right now. We have around 12,000 students, including 9,000 undergraduate students and 2,000 graduate students. Our faculty rate is 16 students to 1 staff member, which means we have enough teachers and mentors dedicating their time to their students, which is very good to support you academically and professionally. Moving on to the next slide. And just to highlight, I'm going to focus mostly on the undergraduate application process because it's likely more complicated than the rest of the application processes. But I'm happy to answer questions on the general terms as well. So one of the highlights of the University of Maine is we are considered amongst one of the top 110 public universities in the United States. We have the Carnegie R1 title, which means we are one of the few universities with research focus. And that means we have a local relevance on research. It means also that we have a lot of funds coming to our campus to invest in research that involves a lot of technology related, environmental problem solving. One of the things we are proud of recently is our largest 3D printer. Is the largest in the world, yes. It's not just because we want to have big things and, be on the Guinness Book, but also because we value the importance of investing in technology that is sustainable and it solves the problem of the world. So we actually built a house all with sustainable materials recently with the 3D printer. And that's just one of the research that's being done here at the University of Maine. We also have, we are very renowned by our Marine Sciences Institute and our research for climate change, and so on. Moving on. So one of the other things that I'll emphasize today is our scholarship commitment. For the Ukrainian students, we have a special scholarship. I'll talk about that in a second. But what does that mean? What it means to be committed to scholarship to our students? We do holistic admissions. When we're looking at the admission process, we're not just looking at your grades. We're looking at all your academic achievements. We're looking at your volunteer work. We're looking at your essays, your recommendation letters. We take it all in consideration. And of course, right now, for your situation in Ukraine, we're also looking at your life experience, right? What's going on in your life right now. So we do recommend that the students send us a full application with all the information you can provide us, because remember, we are looking at your applications, we are seeing a computer, we're looking at documents. So to have a better picture of you and what's going on with you and have a holistic approach in your admission process, if you can provide as much information as you can, it's helpful for us to make the fair decision. So for the Ukrainian applicants, since 2023, we've been offering discounted rates for your tuition, which means we are offering Ukrainian applicants, which would be charged as a international tuition rate. We are actually offering Maine resident tuition rates, which are much less than the regular international student rate. And we also offer a regular scholarship they are considered for scholarships. So the scholarships, they vary from $2,000 to $9,000. And if you apply earlier, better the chances of you getting the higher scholarships. We have rolling admissions, which means our application processes are open up to almost a month of the start of classes. But we do incentivize students, especially because of immigration processes, they can take a while. We do incentivize that the students apply earlier. So usually when the student apply until December, we have a better chances of scholarships, higher scholarships for them. So how does the undergraduate admission process work? I recommend that you get a pen and paper now with you and write down these links that I'm going to be showing. I'm going to have one QR code up here on the screen, if I can have that. Yeah, there we go. You can point your phone to this link and you find most of the information I'm going to be showing today on these slideshows, and I'm going to have a few other links later on to show. Okay, so the application process, it's very simple, but it can have, you can have some questions on the way, and I'm happy to answer those questions today. If I cannot answer all your questions today, please feel free to reach out. I'm going to be showing my email, my contact information at the end of the presentation. So we have two ways to apply to the University of Maine. And I'm going to highlight that a lot of the universities on the United States, they do offer similar processes of application. The Common App is one of them. A lot of applicants, they apply via Common App, and they can choose all the universities that they decide to apply at the University of Maine, at the United States. We also have our own regional application process, which is the UMaine app. So on that link, on the admission QR code, you can find the application links. We usually charge $50 for the application fee. That $50 fee is non-refundable, but once you apply, once you pay, your application is rolling. You also need to submit other documents with your application. One of the required documents is the English proficiency test. I'm going to give you details on that later on. And your academic transcripts. We do not require SAT or ACT scores, but you can submit them if you have them, if you have done that, and if you have good scores, of course. We do recommend that you send an essay. They're not required except for nursing, okay? For nursing, if you intend to apply for nursing, you do need to submit an essay. And recommendation letters, they are optional, but they're always very, very highly recommended and helpful for us to better understand your background. On the second part of your application, we're going to be looking into the immigration documents, okay? So the first part is just sending your documents, your academic documents, and the second part is an immigration process, right? So during the immigration review, which is very similar, the requirements for the immigration process is very similar to the requirements you're going to face during your visa interview. So it's important to pay attention to those and submit those as soon as possible when you have them in your hands. So one of the requirements is having the Declaration of Finances, which is a form that you upload on your website, and you just fill it up with your sponsor, or if you have the funds yourself, you can sign that up. And your bank statement. And I'll give you details about that, but the bank statement, essentially, it's a document that needs to be from the bank, and it needs to be from the last 6 months and show enough funds available for your academic, at least for 1 year of academic studies here at the university. And that value will vary according to your scholarship, and I'll show those numbers at the end of the presentation. You also need a copy of your passport. Please be aware that your passport needs to be valid for at least 6 months as well. So if it's about to expire, I urge you to take care of that, updating your passport as soon as possible. And your admission process usually takes up to 1 to 2 weeks after we receive all these documents. So sooner you send these documents to us, the Declaration of Finances, the bank statement, passport, transcripts, all of those materials, sooner you're going to receive a response from us as well. So how does it work? So once you apply and submit all your documents, we're going to pass the first review, which is the academic review. During that review, we're going to do the holistic approach, and we're going to send you a letter of decision when we are done with that process. In that letter of decision, you're going to have the scholarship information you received. Remember, from the $2,000 to $9,000. So that's going to be highlighted on that decision letter. as well as some estimate of how much you need to, you're expected to pay, and how much you need to send the financial documents to cover the cost. And then after that immigration review is done and approved, you're going to receive your I-20. Our immigration team will help you in that process. And then with that I-20, once you receive the I-20, you're going to pay your CVS fee, and you're going to be able to schedule your visa appointment. You might already have questions about how this process works, and our immigration team is going to be connecting with you, and it's going to be providing you all the orientation of the next steps as you go. And then after you do that, we urge you to activate your account, and you can actually activate your account even a little better as soon as you receive your letter of your approval letter, your admission letter. And you can also start, once you receive your I-20, you can start your enrollment confirmation to let us know that you are serious about coming to UMaine and you're ready to come. And as soon as we know that you are confirmed, we are able to matriculate you, and then we're going to start the orientation process for your pre-arrival to the University of Maine. So during that pre-arrival process, we're going to help you and support you on your housing application to live at the University of Maine. We're going to support you with information about the health insurance. You need to submit immunization records. And then you're ready to let us know when you have your ticket, your flight scheduled to come, and when you're planning to arrive on campus. And all of that will be informed to you. And we actually have a arrival package you can find online on our website, where you have a checklist of steps, and you find all that information as well. Okay, so what are the admission requirements for you Ukrainian students? We require that you support us with information of your academic transcripts. They are official transcripts. However, we know how hard that can be right now for you to get a hand of these official documents. So we can accept, for the review process and admission process, we can accept an official document, so a copy of the documents you have that explain your grades during these high school years. High schools for us in the United States is the 3 last years from 9 to 12 grade, 3 to 4 years of your last years of education before you go to the tertiary educational system. That's the bachelor degree, or later on your college degree. So before you get that, we call it high school. For you guys, what means having a degree on your high school is having the attestat. I might be saying that wrong, I'm sorry. But that's the certificate of completion of your secondary education. If you are studying in an international school, you can just submit what's equivalent to that secondary education graduation. And with those documents, if we have questions about those, we're going to be reaching out to you and asking those questions. But usually those transcripts, they give us an idea of what exams, what grades, and the courses you have taken. And if they meet our minimum requirements, we're going to approve you. And it's a very smooth process from after that. So then the one important detail about that, if it's your documents, they're not translated. We do recommend that you send us official translations, or at least translations there. If your school cannot submit us the official translation, you can find agencies that can do the translation for you. And those originals should be submitted with the translation. Okay, just to be clear about that. Okay, what happens when we do holistic admissions and we consider you a very good student? One of the benefits you get from being admitted to the University of Maine is that University of Maine has a honors college. A honors college invitation is only for the high achieved students. It's for students who have a GPA over 3.3. And they are usually students following areas, majors. They're related to liberal arts or business. And we definitely encourage our international community to enroll in the honors college if they can, because it's a very good way to connect with special, with a higher class of professors, and to network in campus with other programs they're related. And another benefit is that our scholarships, they're renewed automatically yearly, so you don't have to go through a separate process to apply for our scholarships. And as I mentioned before, you guys have the benefit of a special tuition rate and a special scholarship too. Another requirement for admission at the University of Maine, and that's also for a lot of the universities in the US, is the English proficiency requirement. If you don't come from an international school where your English is the primary language of instruction, you need to submit English proficiency exam. Some of those exams can be done online if you're not able to go somewhere to do those exams in your country. You can probably do them online. One of the very popular ones that we accept is the Duolingo English test, and our minimum score is 110. We also accept TOEFL, IELTS, and you can see on the screen the minimum requirements for those. And if for any chance you're not able to do those exams in your country, please do reach out to us. We have other resources that we can offer you online, okay? We also have language tuition, language proficiency waivers if needed. If you qualify for those, we are happy to waive your language exam. I'm gonna move on. Essentially, these are waivers that it's based on your scores on other types of exams, or if you come from an international school. So one other benefit at the University of Maine that you don't find in any university is that we have the English Institute here on our campus. And that English Institute actually offers you not just the chance of improving your English or learn English in a very academic and professional quality, but also if you don't meet your minimum requirements on your English exam, you can be admitted conditionally. So, which means we're not going to reject you or deny your application because you didn't meet the minimum requirements. We're going to admit you conditionally. So, which means you're going to come to the University of Maine, and before or even while you're learning or following your academic path, you're going to have to improve your English at the English Institute. And we have two kinds of programs. So one is you can enroll to come to the University of Maine as an English student. You can apply to the Intensive English Institute just as I want to go to study English. You can do that. And the link you can find over here on the screen. Or you can come to be a part of these bridge program or the conditional admission program, okay? So as what happens on the IEI Institute is different from any kind of English program when you learn English to travel, okay? We are focused on academic goals. We are focused on your professional goals and skills. So we have classes, they're very focused on the academic, not just here for the University of Maine, but also professionally. So we have courses that are focusing on writing, we have speaking, we have lectures, we have all sorts of projects involved on this English Institute. They're related to the University of Maine and takes advantage of all the benefits that the university offers, even if you come just to the English program. So the classes they have flexible programming, but of course, as an international student, you need to be taking some required amount of classes per week. for immigration reasons. So this is the bridge program. The bridge program is when you are admitted conditionally. This is the program you go through, okay? And this is considered for both undergraduate and graduate students. Graduate students are the ones who are following their master degrees. And undergraduate students are the ones who are attending university or college level education. And once you are admitted to the English program or as a graduate student or undergraduate student at the University of Maine, you can apply for housing on campus. So we do have housing. You can live here. You can apply on this link on the screen here. And we have this picture here is one of our traditional double rooms. It's one of the most popular style rooms for our international undergraduate students. But we also have graduate housing. We have single. You don't need to share a room. You can find a single room. And we have a suite style living as well. And of course, those price range will vary according to each type of room you opt. And we also have a variety of meal plans. Once you enroll on the housing, you are also automatically required to enroll to the meal plan. So when you live on campus, you have all those facilities available to you. You have restaurants where you're going to eat. It's like living in a hotel where you don't have room service. So you have on many of our housing buildings, they have their own restaurant. So you're going to go eat right there, and you have everything on our campus available to you. We have, so let me move on to the next slide. We have a health clinic on campus. We have a campus police on campus. We have various religious organizations on campus. With being a Maine student, you have access to, on your phone or with your physical card, as a student card, you have access to bus stations, free transportation in town. And we also have the Office of International Programs on campus. The Office of International Programs is the office that's going to support you on all the immigration questions you have. During orientation week, we have a whole week where the new arrival students are, we are directing them on what's the next steps, how to be successful academically, how to follow the rules and not be in trouble. And all sorts of questions can be answered in this office. And also, so just to highlight some of our benefits of being a student at the University of Maine as well, we have a cultural fest event. So we have a very live international community here. We produce this cultural event on campus and the International Dance Festival. And we also have these amazing recreational centers, the top sports arena on diverse sports, like we have hockey, basketball. So if you like sports, Maine is definitely a good option for you. We have an amazing library that has a network with all the other libraries in the United States. So if you're looking for a book that you can find here, we can request them for you. And a top 10 research laboratories. We have also over 200 student clubs and organizations. So there will be no lack of options for you to interact with other international students. And here's the table that you are all curious about, probably. So you can see there's a huge difference on the tuition rate for you, Ukrainian students, Ukrainian applicants, and the undergraduate international applicants. Okay, so at the end here on the total, you see you're saving $20,000 a year on your education by this special discounted rate that we offer you. And that's not even including the scholarship that you may get. Like you might get up to $9,000 of scholarship. So that's discounted from this rate. Just to give you an idea how much this will cost you for living and studying in the US, which includes all the costs, okay? Including health insurance, books, supplies, food, housing, living, extra costs. It's all here would be around $2,000 and a half, right? with that cost of living is not very different from studying in a public school, in a private school, and paying for living anywhere else in the world, right? It can vary a lot if you're studying in a private school. So living in US, coming to an international or studying abroad is expensive, is an investment, but it's an investment that's going to offer you better opportunities in your life and your professional goals. So hopefully you'll be able to achieve that. I'm going to end my presentation here. I would like to thank you all for listening. Please take note of my email. My contact information is right here. The international ADM at maine.edu is the email where you can find more general. You can send us more general questions. They're not just regarding your specific admissions, but we can send you links of all sorts of other information on campus. Thank you, and I'm ready for a Q&A session.
Thank you so much, Adrana, for such an informative presentation. I highly enjoyed it, and I would just like to once again encourage our lovely viewers at home to please not hesitate to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you and, of course, answer any questions you may have. A typical question I get from my students would be one about opportunities to work on campus. So I was wondering, are international students eligible to work on the campus of the University of Maine?
Yes. The international students can work up to 20 hours on campus, which is ideal because the rest of the 20 hours you want to be dedicated to your studies. And we do have, very often we have many jobs available on campus.
Thank you so much for your answer. And while we wait for questions, Jenny, could you please honor us with your presentation? The floor is yours. Take it away. We'd love to hear from you.
All right, thank you very much. May I kindly have my slides, please? All right, so thank you so much. So hi everyone, my name is Jenny and from UC Riverside International Affairs Office. I'm the International Program Specialist focusing on international recruitment. So thank you so much for having me here today and very excited to meet every one of you. So before we start, I just wanted to let you know that if you have any questions, please do feel free to type your questions in the text box and we will go over the questions at the end. So yeah, I actually wanted to start off by introducing our certain values that represents UC Riverside and our students. And these are being unique, committed, and real. And among all the 10 campuses that we have in the UC system, each of us are different. And although we're sharing one system, we are actually attract students in different ways. So up on my screen, I'm showing the 9 campuses that undergraduate campuses that we have in the University of California system. The UC system is founded actually in 1869 and is one of the largest university system in the world, offering undergraduate and graduate programs across the states. So in the picture, I'm showing 9 undergraduate campuses, but actually we have 10 campuses in total. The 9 campuses are enrolled over 250,000 students. So we UC as a whole, we offers a wide range of options to meet students' different learning needs and expectations. And we encourage students to apply broadly to the system and to all the universities. And no matter which of our campus a student graduates from, you will have the prestige of earning a UC degree. So each campus will complete our own individual review of the application, and which means that we are going to review the information in the application and select students without asking other campuses have decided. Riverside will never call Davis or Santa Cruz and say, hey, are you going to admit a certain students? If so, then we're not going to having you. That's not going to happen. So each campus, we select students independently. And we always highly recommend our students to apply to all the UC campus, which will truthfully have a higher chance to getting. So we actually didn't start off as a higher education institution, but as a citrus experiment station. So more specifically, as an agriculture operations center from UC Regents in 1907. So our research has existed for over 100 years and has revolutionized the citrus industry. So for those who are not very familiar with California, citrus or oranges is a huge thing here. So we've been existent for over 60 years as a higher education institution. And our commitment, of course, as a public institution, is not only the betterment and continuation of your education for bachelor's or master's or PhDs, but we also inspire students and allow students the opportunity to explore with over 150 majors and minors on campus. So due to the high demand for higher education, we formally joined the UC system as a general campus in 1954. So comparing to other UCs like UC Berkeley, UCLA, or UC Davis, we are a fairly new campus where we are the number 6 campus that's statuted in the UC system. And then all the way till this time this year, we are one of the fastest rising university in the world, where we are, every year we are increasing our student body or recruiting high quality faculties and improving our facilities as well. So maybe I guess many of you don't familiar where we are at actually. So we are in the city of Riverside, and we are in the greater Los Angeles area in Southern California, and we call our surroundings the Inland Empire. So we are about 1 hour east of LA, and it's been very convenient and very accessible location. You can see from the map right here, we have so many different attractions and destinations like Disneyland, Hollywood, and the beach. And also we have the snow mountains behind us. So we can go snowboarding in the morning and then right up at the beach in the afternoon. And there's definitely a lot of things to do as well. So California is a huge and diverse state with huge diverse populations. So we have people from all over the world, and you're going to be fitting in very, very well with familiar food, familiar languages, and even familiar culture right around our campus. But most importantly, one of the major reasons why many international students choose to study abroad in California or in Riverside is the potential for employment. So California as a state where we have the largest economy in the United States, and also as a country, if we are seeing California as a country in the world, we are actually placed in the 5th ranked by GDP in the world, right after UK and before Germany. So that comes with a lot of high quality employments, like Fortune 500 companies in California, and we have in all different disciplinaries and in different fields job opportunities. We have Google, we have Microsoft, we have Boeing, we have Netflix, Bank of America, Tesla, Facebook, and etc. So in general, like you will have the chance to expose to many internship opportunities or job opportunities. So as of today, we have 26,000 students overall and about 1,200 faculties on campus. So it's a very healthy student-faculty ratio that's approximately about 21 versus 1. And we have over 136,000 alumni around the world as well. And then we are also a very diverse campus that we have over 3,000 international students coming from 87 different countries and the different regions. So you will see many familiar faces on campus, also people from other parts of the world as well that you're not familiar with. So just to learn from them as well. So academically, all the UC campuses are comprehensive university, and we offer over 150 undergraduate programs by 7 professional schools and colleges. And within our undergraduate programs, some of our most popular programs for international students that include like engineering, robotics, computer science, data science, economics, social science, sociology, what else? Business and psychologies. These are also very competitive as well, just like other UCs. Being a research university, there was really an advantage for these type of programs in science and engineering, and UC Riverside is unique within the UC as well. And in fact, that you can directly apply for a bachelor plus master program as a freshman student. So you will get a master and a bachelor degree within 5 years. So the other popular program that we have is business, that we have an undergraduate business administration program, which is also one of the largest business program in the states of California. So within the UC system, there's only 3 campuses that are offering undergraduate level business. That is UC Berkeley, UC Irvine, and UC Riverside. And within the business major, there's a huge variety of concentrations and focus that you can choose from, including from management, marketing, accounting to finance. So where you have you're also getting to access to supply chains or information system and etc. So as you know, like we also roosted in the agriculture, as I mentioned before, that we're starting off by the citrus experiment station. So we are highly ranked in agriculture, for plant science, for entomology, and those are some of the things that we're doing very, very well as well. So we are also one of the campus that's offering undergraduate level robotics program. And it's also been one of our newest program as well. So again, all the UCs that we are offering different types of programs. So if you have a particular program that you're interested into, please don't hesitate just to go onto our website and check it out. So for rankings, this is something that I'm kind of hesitant to talk about a lot of times, because there's so many rankings like right now all across the world. So you can always Google it and find out more. But there's some of the rankings I wanted to highlight, that we are #1 performer in social mobility. And this is the 4th year in a row that we rank #1 in United States. So this is basically means that our students are having a very high rate of turnout. So we are also having a very high potential when you graduate with a UC degree, that you will have a very high chance to getting a higher salary, and also to getting a better life in general. We also ranked number 34 for undergraduate level teaching, which also ties under Harvard University and also UC Berkeley. And that's obviously that we are the top 1 ranking university in the world, that we, again, like I said, we are continuing to doing so and to improve our rankings and improving our programs to help our students to achieve what they're really looking for. So none of these are possible without our amazing faculties, for sure. We have some of the best scientists, professors in the field. We have about 38 members from the National Academy of Science, and we also have 2 Nobel Prize laureates as well. So one of the professors there, he's from the field of physics, and the other one is from the field of chemistry. All of these professors are pretty active in their right now in the teaching area, and also very accessible to our students. Many of our students will also doing research under these faculty members as well. And these are bring to the next topic that I wanted to highlight for UC Riverside, and what makes our really unique compared to other American universities is every time when you hear from our campus, that you will be always hearing about undergraduate level research, that we place a heavy emphasis on research. And this is something that we want our students to be proactive about and to take the advantage about, because we do have these opportunities that are being very accessible on campus during your first year. You can start off by doing research with our faculty members, with our PhD students, postdocs, and apply what you learned in classroom and real-world problems. Solving these problems and publishing papers, having a co-authored papers before you graduate your undergraduate degree. So we've been doing just a research among our current students that over 70% of our undergraduate students have such experience when they were studying on campus. So there's tons of opportunities here. This is also going to be a very, very valuable experience for our students, whether you're going to looking for a job or having a published research paper or requesting a recommendation letter from a faculty member. So that's the work that on daily basis, that's gonna be a very valuable experience for you in general, and we're gonna make your resume and your application being very, very strong. So now we are going to go over about the timeline and information about the actual fees. So UC does not have an early action or early decision process like other American universities do. So the UC application is available starting from August the 1st. So if you've been interested in applying to the UCs, it's going to be a really good time for you to starting to look out starting from the beginning of August. So for all the UCs, we are using one application portal, our unique portal. So it is just one application for 9 undergraduate campuses, but there's a fee for per campus that you apply to. It will be $80 for any students who are applying internationally. And if you are holding a permanent, like a green card, or you are a US citizen, then it's gonna be $70. So UC application in general, we are also doing a holistic review that we are requesting to submit a full application package that includes your personal history and also your personal background information in general, just to helping us get to know more about you. You should get a general preparation before filing the application, and be sure to compile your materials ahead of time. That's including your own official transcript, your academic records, your awards or honors, your extracurricular activities, your volunteer experience, or if you have done any jobs before. And for international students, you will also need a test score, your English proficiency score, ahead of time. Sorry if that's my cat. So on the screenshot, this is basically what you're going to looking at while you're filling out the application. You can see that we're asking for all the well-rounded information. And this is also going to be how your application going to be looks like as well. So here is a few tips, like right here, that we are highly recommend you to do a quick screenshot if you are interested to applying to a UC. But some of the things that's been very important is we are not requiring for any types of letter of recommendation for UC application, and that means your short essays will be very important to make you stand out from among the other applicants. Comparing to other schools that we are not requiring students to submit a personal statement or SOP. Instead, we're asking for what we call PIQs, it's also the abbreviation for personal insight questions, that we'll be offering about 8 questions, and you can select 4 out of it. Basically just being asking you as a person, what makes you, any questions are related to your personally, to ask about your personal history and about your personal experience. We wanted to, through these questions, we wanted to know like what kind of person you are, what kind of thing that you're interested, and etc. So all these questions are going to be very equal and are given an equal consideration in the application review process, which means there will be no advantage or disadvantage to choose certain questions over the others. And there's definitely no right or wrong answers for these questions for sure. It is all about just to getting to know you personally, to get to know about your background, your interests, and your achievements in your unique voice. So in this case, your voices is going to be very, very important. And then for admission requirements for freshmen, just like many other schools that we do, or other American universities, that we do require you to submit your transcript. So we're looking at a GPA in general that's above 3.0 out of 4. And we are also requesting you to submit your English proficiency test if you are if you're an if you're international students. And that's we are taking TOEFL for minimum of 80, IELTS 6.5, and or Duolingo 115 as a minimum. If you miss any of the below like requirements, we can also provide you with an English language like waiver, so you don't have to submit your English test score. And these information are all available on our website as well. Okay, and then so for tuition, so all the UCs, we actually share the same tuition. If we piling up everything together, we estimate, actually, this is usually a little bit higher than what students actually spend, but usually it will be for the entire year plus in tuition, plus in living costs in general. It's gonna be about 65 to 70,000 US dollars a year. But we are offering an international student scholarship. We call it non-resident achievement scholarship. It is merit-based, so which means that students, you will not, you don't have to submit any applications along with it, just coming automatically when we are reviewing your application if it meets your requirement, if it meets our expectations. So you can, the highest amount that you can achieve it for the maximum for 4,500 per quarter. And since we're quarter-based, we have 3 quarters a year. So that means you can get a maximum of 1/3 of the tuition, like among all. And considering about the time, we have time to go over all the application portals. So I'm gonna skip some of the slides and focus on 2 more things. One is about the career readiness. So career successful is one of our main mission, and this is also one of the major reasons why so many international students choose us. So since we've been based in the California, that we have so many job opportunities, we've been partnered with a lot of good employers as well. So many of our students we did the research that over 80% of our students, they can receive either a job offer or continuing with their master or postgraduate education after graduation. So this is also one of the reasons why our students were choosing from us. And yes, we're partnering with Google, Apple, Facebook, and etc. So yeah, students can also have a lot of internship opportunities during the summer breaks as well. We usually host career fairs twice a year. So we will welcome employers and HRs to coming over to our campus and to hosting some pre-interview sessions for our students. We also have a very great career center to help our international students to prepare for their resumes, to prepare for their interviews as well. So we're trying to building up a home away home for our international students is for sure, that we have over 500 students organizations. We also have holding live concerts on campus. We have so many different types of events that's going on campus almost every week. So we also, for the campus-wide, we also host outdoor excursions for our students as well, just to help our students to get connected with their peers, to getting to know people around us. And for dinings, we have 2 dining halls on campus and with multiple small cafes and other food bars around by. So students can just having their food, having foods from different parts of the world as well, taste just on campus. For campus safety, we are one of the safest campus across the United States, and our students just feel very safe around here. We didn't happen to have any serious campus safety issues before, and we hope that we continue in that as well. For that, and yes, we also offer on-campus housing as well. So there are different types of dorms that we have: double room, triple room. We have dormitory that are in apartment style or just in typical traditional dormitory style as well. So there's a tons of options for our students to choose from. And yeah. And I think these are all the things I wanted to share today, because considering about the timing, I will just cut off from here. But if you have any questions, please do feel free to email me. And sorry, I was just trying to get into the last page. So please do feel free to email me anytime. And my information is right here. And also, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate just to go to our website. It's the admissions.ucr.edu. So all the information you should be able to find it all in this webpage. All right, so thank you. That'll be it. And I'll turn the floor to Victoria and see if we have any other questions.
Thank you so much, Jenny, for a fantastic presentation and for sharing some great insights into UC Riverside. So I would like to once again call out to lovely students at home. Please feel free to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. And I guess a question that I often get asked by advisees would be one about funding. So how can students go about seeking scholarship or grant opportunities at your university?
Yes, thank you for the question. And I just mentioned before that we do have a merit-based scholarship that's without an application. It just comes straight forward with our admission package if students meet the requirement, and it's basically evaluated based on students' GPA. So for other opportunities, students can always go to scholarship.ucr.edu to figure out more opportunities, that we do offer a wide range of chances as well. But this one, the non-resident achievement scholarship, is one of the most accessible and most popular one among our international students.
Thank you so much for your answer, Jenny. Adrana, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, we also have departmental scholarships available for some disciplines. I would say probably a lot of them related to research from the Carnegie funding. So I recommend also reaching out to our website and looking on the links we have there.
Thank you so much for such great tips. And I guess a general question to both of you would be one about any advice you would like to share with aspiring students who look to apply to the US?
Yeah, I usually say two things. One is don't give up. Even if you think you will not be admitted, try, right? You don't know, maybe the person who is reading your application will have a different view than what you're having. Remember, it's not just about GPA. Remember, if you have one discipline you fail, that doesn't mean you're rejected. So try it, see what happens. And if you have questions, don't hesitate on reaching out. It's very important to communicate with us because we might give you that answer that might change your life, might change your decision. So please reach out, don't hesitate.
Yes, I think my idea is just like Adriana has mentioned, like don't give up, like just try it out, because we're all doing a holistic review that your background really values who you are. And while you're filling out the applications, just thinking about who you are and telling about your stories and your stories that's behind you. So we wanted to hear, and so that really helped us to make the decisions as well. So that's been very important. So just imagine while you're filing up the application, you're doing an in-person interview, that we are just sitting across your computer or application profile, but we're really hearing your stories. So yes, just don't give up, try it out. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out anytime, that we all love to help you out.
If I can add one information
Yes, please
too.
go ahead.
Thank you. We also accept, if the student is undecided, we accept applications as undecided. We also have an option of explorations. When the student apply for a major and we look at his grades and like, this is not for you, we actually sometimes offer an alternative major, or we can just offer explorations. So with explorations, the student have a year to explore different areas and decide what they want to do. And that doesn't mean they're wasting their time. Those credits will be carried later on for their academic achievements.
Thank you so much for some great tips and words of inspiration for the students. Just to reiterate what Jenny and Adriana have said, I would like to encourage our lovely students at home to continue believing in themselves, to persevere with their university applications. And if you have any questions about the admission process, seeking funding, writing application essays, or just in general about studying in the US, please feel free to reach out to our lovely advisors and sign up for a free consultation. We would love to assist you and answer any questions you may have. And of course, if you're interested in studying at UC Riverside or the University of Maine in particular, I would be happy to put you in touch with the counselors who can help you and really give you first-hand information about the majors and programs you're interested in. Thank you so much to both of you for such great presentations and for sharing excellent pieces of advice with the students. I do hope we can can collaborate in the future. And to the students at home, I wish you the best of luck. Stay safe and stay with Education USA. Bye.
Thank you.